Welcome back everyone to Blend to Unreal Engine 5, the complete beginner's guide. Now let's do our actual window. So what we're going to do is we're going to first of all bring in another cube. So I'm going to press Shift A, bring in a cube. Also, there is something that you should know. At the moment our cube comes in at 2 meters. Now if you want to bring in a cube and it be much smaller than that, so let's say you want a cube to come in be this size instead. You can bring it in, it'll always come that size now. So if I delete this, press Shift A, bring in a cube, you'll see it comes in at that size. So it just makes it a little bit easier to work with sometimes. Now let's make it smaller. Let's bring it up into the center of here, make it even smaller. Make sure that when you're putting it in place, that it's going to be in both sides. So in other words, front and back, just in case, you're doing the inside of it as well. Let's then, I think, make it a tad smaller. So S, make it a tad smaller, like so. And then let's pull it out. So S and Y. Again, we're not going to need the sides of it, but we are going to put it all the way into place. So if I press 3, I can see it's way over this side. So I'm just going to straighten up a little bit. And I'm probably going to make it a little bit smaller. It still looks, it still looks a little bit too thick. So let's press S, make it thinner. S and Y, pull it out. Get it into place like so, making sure it's going through front and back, and that looks absolutely fine. Now let's spin this round. But before we do that, we may as well mark all our seams and things. So Shift H. Now on this one, we're not going to need these ends, so we're going to come in straight away and just delete those ends out. Delete faces, and what I'm going to do is mark a seam straight down here, so we don't have any infinite loops or anything like that. Control E, mark seam. Now let's add in some edge loops. So Control R, left click, right click, Tab, Alt H, bring everything back. Hide my grey box out of the way. And this is what we should be left with. Now let's press Shift T. Let's rotate it around. So R, X, 90. Let's make it smaller on the Z. So SZ, bring it all the way down like so. And then what we want to do now is we want to shrink this down a little bit. So I'm going to press S. Shrink it down like so, so it looks as though it's fitting in there. I want to make sure it's still at the back, and then what I want to do is press S and Z and just pull it up into place like so. Now let's pull it over to here, and then what we're going to do is we're going to add in a modifier. We're going to bring in an array. We're going to set the array to 0 on the X and move the Y up, not the Y, sorry, the Z across like so. And the reason why it's the Z, by the way, the Z should be up, because I didn't reset the actual transformations. If I press Control A, all transforms, you'll see now the Z is down there. Right click, set origin to geometry. Let's set the Z to 0 now. Then it should be the Y, like so. Let's move them across, making sure they're evenly spread out. So are they evenly spread out? Now the other little trick you can do, if you move the array when you're in object mode, you'll see we can move it like that. But what you can also do is you can go into edit mode, grab it, and when you move it now, or move something of it, it'll actually move them all together. So let's move that, and you'll also see that the orientation stays where it is. If I move this in object mode, the orientation moves with it, as you can see. So sometimes that's actually handy to know. All right, so now we've got that there, and it's handy to know because you might want to rotate something around orientation once you've actually moved the array out. So it's handy for things like staircases or where you've got a circular kind of array. Okay, so now let's think about joining all of this up, I think. So we'll join it all up. Control J, join them all up. And I forgot. Now there is another way, by the way, of applying all of the modifiers at once. So if you've got loads and loads of objects and you're not sure which one's got modifiers on, then what you can do is you can come to object, come down to convert, and just convert to mesh. And now you'll notice when I press Control J, that actual array has been applied. So we've got no array on our modifiers now. Okay, so now we've done that. Let's go in and add in a bevel, and let's put it on object mode just so I can see what I'm doing. And you can see here the bevel, it's hardly anything. That's what, I don't know why it's doing. Well, I do know why it's doing that. It's doing that because I need to reset all the transforms again. So Control A, right click, set origin to geometry, turn this down to 0, turn it up 1, turn it down. So 0.003, let's try. And that's actually looking pretty nice like that. Now we need to make sure that all these are bent a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab all of them, come to mesh, come down and where is it? Transform and randomize. Turn all of these down to 0.01 and you can see it's way too much. So let's put it on 0.003 like so. Is that better? Yes, that's much better. All right, so now I'm going to do is I'm going to right click, shade auto smooth, and I'm going to move them over to the other side. Now I don't want them looking obviously the same. I don't want them looking like that. So what I'm going to try and do is just mirror them on the other side. So object, let's have a look at where the orientation is first. So if I press R, X, so it's going to be on the X local axis. So let's go to object, mirror, X local axis. There we go. Now they should look different to the other ones. Right, let's join these both together now. So Control J, join them both together, Tab A. Now we're going to unwrap them. So U, unwrap, let's put it on material. We haven't assigned it a material yet. Now the material on these ones is going to be my wood light. So I think I can bring that one in. So let's go to materials, new, call this wood light. And let me see if this is the material I want to use. So I'm going to go to shading. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to come to my principled, Control Shift T. I'm going to go back and have we got a wood light? So we've got a wood light here. Grab this, grab all of these. Oh, double tap the A. We can see that we do have some issues with the lighting here. Shouldn't look like that. Now, this can sometimes happen. So we're going to go back. We can see, look, they look fine like this. Actually, the wood looks really nice. But when we go to this, for some reason, they shouldn't look like this. Sometimes this does happen. Now, let's think about fixing that. The first thing you can do is you can check these. So what you can do is you can come and see if the normals are facing the correct way. The normals is basically which way the texture is pointing. So textures point either outwards or they point inwards. If they're pointing inwards, when you bring into a games engine, you'll end up with invisibility and you'll be able to see through it. If they're pointing outwards, then it will render to the camera. So that's what that actually means. Now, if we come down and we put face orientation, you can see that on this one, the face orientation is completely wrong. In fact, anything with red, we want to be changing that. What I'm going to do, I'm going to grab everything with B. I'm going to then press Tab. I'm going to press A to grab all of the mesh, press Shift N, and that's then is going to spin most of it round. Now, the problem you'll have is with, for instance, these, you can see we've still got issues here. Sometimes we actually have to go in and do it manually, which we can do. So let's come to this, and what we'll do is we'll grab this one and this one. I'm going to press Shift N. Sorry, pressing the wrong button, Shift N, and then what we're going to do is turn them around to the inside. There we go. Now let's come to this one. I'm going to grab this. So just this one, Shift N, turn them around to the inside, and there we go. Now let's turn off face orientation off, and then what we're going to do is come to rendering, and now we can see these are absolutely right. Now, generally, this I think has happened because of the fact that we've actually mirrored this, you know, on the other way. That's basically why this has happened. If sometimes this does happen, just try grabbing just this. So Control, click this. Try pulling it out a little bit and see if that fixes it. Nope, that's not fixed it. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to Material. Back to Material. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate this round now. So I'm going to grab it all, R, Z, 180, spin it round. Now let's see if that's fixed it. There we go, all fixed. Now, if you've got a problem with the back of it, you know, if the back of it is, if it's in your cabin, just replace the mesh. In other words, come in, delete this mesh. So you can grab it from here, Control click to here. Then what you're going to do is delete faces. And now what you're going to do is you can't fill it. It's not that simple. So Alt Shift click, and all you're going to do is right click and come down, and you'll have one that says Bridge Edge Loops. There we go. Now this, if I turn this round, let's see if it's actually works. So we're going to press A. Sorry, we're not going to press A. We're going to grab this. RZ 180. Let's see if that's actually fixed it. I'm really hoping it has. And no, it's not. Let's grab them all. Let's actually unwrap them. So A, grab them all. U, unwrap. Let's have a look what they look like. Now we've got a problem where they're both actually looking that way, and that's not what I wanted. So I'm going to actually go back, and I'm going to spin them both round and see if that actually fixes this lighting issue. It's a bug, by the way. It's not actually something that should happen. There's no reason for it to happen. Have a look. Let's turn this one round as well. L, R, Z, 180. And there we go. Let's fix that. Material. Now, finally, on the next lesson, what we'll do is we'll actually fix this material because it's not actually looking as nice as I want it to. So I'm happy with, I think it just needs bringing out a little bit, making it a little bit darker. Also, we haven't, I don't think, oh yes, we've actually got a bevel on. So it's just that basically. I think also it's because the actual wood's going the wrong way. So I need to rotate those around in the UV space. All right, everyone. So I hope you enjoyed that and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.